Bowser has become one of the most iconic villains of all time. It certainly helps that Mario is as popular as he is, but it feels like as long as we're seeing Mario, Bowser's probably gonna be there too. Sometimes he's the big bad boss, other times they're playing golf together, but every time Bowser is truly one of my favorite Mario characters. He's had a lot of interesting looks over the years, but just how many could there be, right? Right guys? There's not that many, right? Why is no one answering me? Oh god, there's a lot, isn't there? I recently ranked about 130 versions of the pea shooter from Plants vs. Zombies, which was truly nuts, but the great thing about that series is there really aren't that many games to go through. Pea shooter appears multiple times in each one, but the research there is pretty short and sweet. Well, there are basically 300 Mario games, and as I just mentioned, Bowser appears at least once in nearly all of them. Why do I do this to myself? It is my goal today to definitively discover and rank every version of Bowser to ever exist. Of course, they range from different sprites of the same character to different forms like Dry Bowser. We must keep in mind that there are some overlapping Bowsers in each game. Just because Bowser is posing differently in these two images does not mean these are different freaking Bowsers. We can cut corners at times, which is definitely going to help. If Bowser is suddenly wearing a fedora, that does not instantly mean we have a new Bowser, but if he's dressed up like a nerdy influencer, well, sometimes we can make an exception. Let's also clarify that single images of Bowser in promotional or game manuals do not count. We are focusing on games, TV shows, movies, and a few unique cases here and there that we'll touch on later. Don't you dare send me images of Bowser from my piece of concept art and expect me to add it to the list. However, if you do know of any Bowsers worthy of the list that aren't here, please let me know in the comments. With all that out of the way, today we'll be ranking Bowser, 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 and finally, the one, the only, Bowser. I think the catchphrase of this series has quickly become, do not take a shot every time I say Bowser. You will die of alcohol poisoning, this is not a joke. Without further ado, let's find out which of these Koopas are the best Bowser, and which one makes me want to delete the history from my browser. The first ever Bowser is, of course, the one from the first game in the series. There are 7 fake Bowsers you fight throughout the game, with the last boss fight featuring the man himself. Despite how iconic he is, it's definitely a weird looking Bowser. His proportions are really strange. Just look at my favorite YouTuber Harry Gold's modern day recreation of the thing. He can breathe fire, throw hammers, and jump towards you, but all you have to do is make it to the axe and destroy his bridge. Why he insists on fighting on this bridge, I have no clue. I like this Bowser for how strange he is, but definitely prefer how he's evolved over the years. Let's give him a B tier. I made a post on YouTube to get some help finding the obscure Bowsers, and a lot of people told me to rank Bowser's brother, a blue version of the same sprite from the Lost Levels. But he's literally known as Bowser's brother! It's in the damn name! While it is very clearly a bluer, cooler Bowser, I don't think he belongs on our list, but I did want to mention him. Let's instead add the weird ketchup and mustard sprite of him from Super Mario Bros. Special, which looks very dumb and bad. F tier. And while we're here, check out this insane commercial from the NES.
You cannot beat us.
They actually made Bowser Sprite 3D. This is the stuff of nightmares. I feel like every kid would go to sleep and just hear, "You cannot beat us," when they close their eyes. Well, I can beat you, Bowser, by throwing you an F tier too. His next game appearance was in the Game & Watch version of Super Mario Bros. Known as the Alarm Koopa, he's not even a boss, he just messes with your lives when the alarm goes off. I really love the guy, even if he isn't all that interesting. We'll still place him in D. Bowser never appeared in Mario Bros. 2, so we jump to Mario 3. This game featured the Koopa Link, so there weren't fake Bowsers leading up to the final fight. I think that makes him much more intimidating and exciting to fight this time around, and he even looks much closer to the look he has today. In this fight, he's learned to ground pound, but kid's a little too excited about it. If he ground pound the same spot enough, he'll break through and take himself out in the process. I like this Bowser quite a bit, especially the face he makes mid ground pound. Let's also rank the Bowser from All-Stars, since it's clearly based on the same sprite. Honestly, I think the original is much more charming, but it's still good. I'll put the original in B and the All-Stars one in C. Let's take a quick pit stop to look at the insane list of early Mario movies and TV shows that were made during the series' first spike in popularity. Nintendo was just sort of giving everyone a shot at a Mario spin-off. It's just an interesting time period, considering how strict they are with their brand in modern day. As far as I know, the first non-game in the Mario series is the Super Mario Bros. Movie, The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. If you've ever wanted a Mario anime, well, good news, it's been here the whole damn time. It's infamous for Luigi being blue, Yoshi being a dog that becomes human and immediately making out with the princess and cucking Mario in the process, and so much more. Mario's playing, well, Mario, when Peach jumps out of his TV alongside a ton of enemies. And our star of the show today, Bowser. Look at the little gremlin when he first appears on the TV. This guy's a little freak. Bowser just talks like a normal guy, which takes a little getting used to, but he is pretty great here. He wants Peach to be his bride, just like Jack Black did in 2023. This guy's ahead of his time. Mario even wins by using a superstar and swinging it by his tail. Dude, Illumination totally ripped this thing off. In the end, Bowser honestly didn't get to do very much here, and his voice wasn't all too fitting. Let's end this fever dream by placing him in C tier. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show is much more famous, and definitely more entertaining too. We could be here all day talking about the history of the Super Show, but we can do the Mario another time. King Koopa really steals the show for me. He's so entertaining to watch. And unlike the last one, I really love this voice for him.
I want my feet licked.
There's probably an argument to be made that this isn't Bowser, but a different character entirely. But I just see him as a distinct version of Bowser. It's like the name change between Princess Peach and Princess Toadstool. This character showed up in the Super Mario World and Mario 3 cartoons as well, so thankfully we only have to rank one of them. Anyway, some people thought they were so smart telling me I had to rank every alias he took over the course of the show, but think the freak again! King Koopa can don as many costumes as he wants, he's only getting one spot today. But it is worth looking at these different forms he took, cause there's a lot. We got a Santa one, a space one, a vampire one, a Nazi one, a Darth Vader one. Wait, did you just say Nazi one? Great, thanks guys. Now I'm on record putting a Nazi in A tier. Thanks a lot. The next Bowser we have is from the KKK? Jesus, Bowser's really trying to cancel me today. It's actually the KKKK, also known as King Koopa's Cool Cartoons. Genuinely surprised they never made a King Koopa club at some point. I wouldn't even bat an eye at the King Koopa clan. Whatever, the show itself is a live-action spin-off of the Super Show, all about King Koopa. He looks absolutely insane. This is a kids show?
I'll be back with more prizes and more cartoons.
Yes, it's funny, but hashtag not my Bowser, F tier. If you thought that one looked nuts, this one's just a man! Welcome to Mario Ice Capades, a retelling of Super Mario Bros. On ice. Who asked for this? I have no idea. While Mario and Luigi are portrayed by haunting Chuck E. Cheese masks, Bowser gets to look like this. Makes sense, make the human characters fake, but the little monster a weird man. It looks like they ran out of green face paint or something and gave up halfway through on the poor guy. Again, very funny, but we can keep that hashtag going. F tier. Since we talked about every other movie and TV show from the early days of the franchise, let's skip ahead for a second to touch on the 1993 live-action theatrical movie, Super Mario Bros. The movie that single-handedly ruined the idea of video game movies for decades and caused Nintendo to be so afraid to make a movie that they would wait 30 years before they tried again. Mario, Luigi, and Daisy are fine portrayals of their characters, honestly, and I think they all did a great job. Yoshi is a photorealistic dinosaur, and I don't know what they were thinking with Goomba, but the biggest enigma of all would have to be President Koopa himself.
Monkey!
They've once again gone and made Bowser a regular man, hopefully for the last damn time. King Koopa could have been the coolest part of the movie filled with realistic looking dinos, but they gave him weird hair and a long sexy tongue and called it a day. I know it's extremely boring to just throw all these live action ones into F tier, but come on. If any Bowser so far deserves it, this one definitely does. Also, this movie predicted 9/11, don't ever forget that. I truly do not have the time or patience to read all the Super Mario-Kun manga series, despite how insane I'm sure it is. All I know is that there's a Bowser in there, and that means I've got to cover it. Apparently Midbus shows up in one of them, so already I know this manga is good. Still, I don't speak Japanese, so all I know about him is his kawaii head and sugoi features. There's also a King Koopa that appeared in here, so let's rank that one too. Regular Bowser can have a C, and the other one is a frustrating road bump in the creation of this video, so F tier it is! Let's get back to the games now. Look at this little Bowser from the freaking Watch version of Super Mario Bros. That Mario and Goomba are pretty great too. I really love this Bowser, but I'm not willing to put a literal watch sprite higher than D tier. In Mario World, he's glued to the clown car. Who knows what that bottom half of this guy looks like? He could be naked for all we know. This one's a real freak. He constantly looks like he's up to no good. I guess he kinda is. Fighting this Bowser means dodging Mecha Koopas, big Steelies, and flames. Again, it's a cool fight, made more difficult by having Bowser high up and out of reach. I really like this one. Let's give him an A tier. Bowser appears in Mario Roulette, the hit roulette game based on, you guessed it, Mario. Bowser is a single icon and it honestly looks pretty bad. F tier. Mario Teaches Typing is one of those games I've heard so much about, but really don't care about it each time it's mentioned. It's an interesting part of Mario history and really nothing more. But clearly I've never seen the Bowser from this game, because now I care a lot. Look at this dude! So smug and obese. There's a more pixelated one and a smoother, much creepier one, but honestly I love seeing them back to back like this. It's like if the angel and devil on my shoulders were both evil. They're very funny to me, but realistically, they should go in D tier. On the other hand, I have truly never heard of the game Super Mario Bros. And Friends when I grow up, which looks insane just looking at a few photos of the game, but sadly it's just a glorified coloring book game. Look at this! I want to play that! There's weirdly two Bowsers here. There's one in the courthouse on trial, and a much more King Koopa looking executive yelling at the Super Mario Bros. Man, this video's gotten insane already, and we literally just freaking started. Alright, Criminal Bowser is F, and Executive Koopa is C. Finally, a big boy game that people actually know about, Super Mario Kart. Who knows why Nintendo decided to make a Mario racing game, but I'm sure they're happy they did because it's basically their most profitable modern series. Bowser debuted all the way back in the very first entry as a high top speed character alongside Donkey Kong Jr. More importantly though, this is our very first playable Bowser. We have become the villains, and since this day, our world has been 10% more evil. I personally love playing as Bowser, and out of all the characters in this game, I think he looks the best. The sprites for this game are just so iconic too. I think we've got our first S tier, people. I'll leave you two alone with whatever the hell you're doing. Guys, we literally just caught Bowser with his pants down. S tier. But seriously, Mario is Missing is a wonderfully horrible game with some extremely funny depictions of these classic characters. Luigi is a real menace the whole way through. There's a very weird amount of versions of this game with multiple art styles. The NES version looks so normal compared to the freaks in the MS-DOS version. Bowser, for the most part, looks the same. I wasn't kidding about Naked Bowser being an S tier, by the way. Luigi literally takes his clothes off and pushes him off a roof, dude. And that's how you win the game! Man, I love Mario's Missing. The normal boring one is going in D tier though. And the little red weird one from the NES version of the game is going in D too. Here's an arcade game called Mario Unokai, or Mario Sports Event in English. The characters all look a little off, but honestly pretty kawaii. Let's put the metal-wearing brute in C tier. I am literally discovering Yoshi's Safari for the first time. Is this a Doom clone? Is there a Yoshi third-person shooter game? Well, if that wasn't cool enough, apparently the bosses are freaking classic Mario enemies in mech suits. I really love Molten and Larry's especially. But as the final boss, we get this insane Bowser and his robotic armor. I love how his little toes are sticking out still.
Whose toes are those?
It's pretty dang cool if I'm being honest, but everything in Yoshi's Safari is 10 times cooler than this Bowser design. I still like it, but it's going in B tier. People were begging for more games like Mario's Missing, so in comes Mario's Time Machine. It's so cool that real life people just canonically exist in the Mario universe now. Just like before, the NES version looks completely fine, but the MS-DOS version? Dear Lord, what have they done? These sprites would work amazingly for a horror game, just the perfect amount of uncanny. Bowser is pretty goofy from his normal view, but when he looks up he becomes a freaking pit bull or something. And look at his side view! That's just unnatural! It's insane that all these sprites are meant to represent the same freaking character. I'm only ranking this as one character, so keeping all these forms in mind, let's put it in A. Sorry, I just love him, truly. Mario's early years seemingly has the same Bowser from Mario's Missing, thank God. So let's jump into Hotel Mario. Yes, I am so glad we have more of these things. If you've ever seen this clip,
I hope she made lots of spaghetti.
Then you're familiar with the game. Bowser gets to creep over the wall in this classic CDI art style, which is awesome. Let's put that one in B tier. Really contemplating ranking Bowser's Sourpuss bread while we're at it. But we should end with his in-game sprite, which I hate and will be throwing in F tier. I'm not going to dwell on why there's 2 off-model Bowser playing cards in Mario's Fundamentals. Let's just put them in F and keep this thing rolling. He gets to say astonishing in all his red glory for Mario Clash on the Virtual Boy. Looking sick as hell, I must say. A tier. And for our last Bowser in this rapid fire round, we have Tetris Attack. He puts his hands in the air like he just don't care and crosses his arms for that classic Bowser pose. He really looks like modern day Bowser here too. I'll give that a B tier. Yoshi's Island teaches us that children are born evil. Nature versus nurture, people. He's the cutest little thing, packing so much angst into this tiny widow baby boy. He's actually the final boss, which seems kind of messed up for Yoshi to be beating up some infant, but then he gets scary! He's massive with glowing red eyes and a wide mischievous grin. So freaking cool! Baby Bowser will of course return, so let's put his little form in A and his massive form in S tier. As we wrap up the classic sprite-based games, I think it's worth it to look back at the most iconic box art versions of Bowser we got during this time. I won't be covering any more box art or manual renders from here on out, and I'm sticking to the most iconic ones only. The most interesting one is the first one, the blue and gray looking menace who truly is nothing like any other Bowser we've ever seen. I honestly thank the heavens that this is not what they ended up going with. He is pretty awesome though, still C tier. He looks so freaking joyful in the one from Mario 3, that's S tier. The classic cross arms pose from Mario World, that's just straight up modern Bowser there, A tier. Then they somehow screwed it up when they gave him a cape. Suddenly his colors are all wrong and he looks like a douchebag? Horrible, F tier. In Super Mario Kart he gets a little bonk on the head, poor guy can't catch a break, S tier. And finally this wonderful game over art. He's bawling his eyes out, you gotta love him, S tier. And that concludes our little box art tour. From here on out we've got some real hard hitters, the first of which being Bowser from Super Mario RPG. He may have been playable in Super Mario Kart, but as a straight up RPG team member, this was Bowser like we'd never seen him before. I guess cause he's also 3D, which is a pretty damn big deal. And he kisses you? We might have our best Bowser yet! Anyways, Bowser is your first boss of the game, but once a bigger enemy is in play, you team up to take him down. Bowser's the most straightforward on your team, and as I'm sure you've guessed, he can deal a ton of damage but really doesn't have crazy special attacks. He's not complicated, he's just beefy. I've always loved the style of these characters. They're sort of just made up of a bunch of little spheres. And Bowser is nearly as rotund as the damn marshmallow. He looks great, he's fun to play, and he's the most impactful Bowser we've seen yet. S tier. On the other hand, the one from the new remake looks really bad I think, and it's going in D tier. That would be a tough one to follow up if you weren't talking about Mario 64 immediately afterwards. 3D Mario games all started here, making Mario 64 easily one of the most influential games in gaming history. It's another case where we could be here all day gushing about Mario 64, or we could just get to the damn Bowser fight. This is definitely a case where the promotional art Bowser is vastly different than the in-game one. So let's rank both. Well, this one is much less polygonal, he's too orange, he's too smooth. I'm putting him in C because the in-game one is so much more charming to me. This is not an intimidating Bowser, it's quite possibly the cutest and shortest Bowser there is. I just want to squeeze the guy's cheeky so gosh dang adorable. Mario's the real villain for saying, "So long, gay Bowser," as if being gay is an insult? If Bowser's gay, I'm happy for him, Mario! I do think the fight is pretty anticlimactic, just throwing him into 3 bombs and calling it a day, but I love this little guy so much that he's gotta be an A tier at least. Also, want to note that there's a lot of N64 Bowser that look exactly like this one, like the Mario Party versions for example. They look the exact same and will not be appearing twice. Of course Bowser's going to return for the first fully 3D Mario Kart game. This time he joins Wario and Donkey Kong in the heavyweight section, which has always been my favorite Mario Kart class. I gotta say though, this version of Bowser is kind of boring compared to not only the other character models in this game, but the Bowsers we've been getting. He looks like that smooth one I didn't like just a second ago. He instantly goes up a tier for being in the cart though, so B tier it is. We're back with more Baby Bowser action, this time from Yoshi's Story. That means 3D Baby Bowser is here, with floating pupils and everything. He rides around as a little green worm throwing bombs at Yoshi as the final boss once again. This version is certainly less cute, and simply less appealing than the cartoony art style of Yoshi's Island. I think that's a C tier. Bowser gets a little hard hat and Wrecking Crew 98, which is cute and I liked it. B tier. It feels like Super Mario Bros. Deluxe was the first instance of these characters in that classic 2D style, including Bowser. Still, Bowser's made this pose one too many times at this point. I'm putting it in D. The first Mario Golf features some of my favorite Mario characters, like Charlie, but I think this is an important distinction to make. We're not going to get to talk about many of the Tourist games because they feature Bowser holding a golf club or a baseball bat or riding a freaking horse, but we're still in the era of evolving graphics and Bowser has certainly evolved here. He's so blocky and way more menacing than that Mario 64 version. I think it's really great and I'm going to put it in A tier too. Pretty sure the only way Bowser appears in the Game Boy Color version of Mario Golf is this tiny little icon here. Wonderful. Goes an F for making me find that crap. We've made it to our first variant of Bowser from the original Paper Mario. While this is a pretty typical depiction of Bowser, it's Paper Bowser, the true final boss of the game. This is another pretty cute version who gets to grow huge for the final battle. His Star Rod makes him all flashy and powerful, but of course, he's no match for main man Mario. This certainly won't be the only Paper Bowser on our list, but he will barely change his later forms. So much so that I think we should probably just group all the normal depictions into one ranking. No need to rank the version of Thousand Year Door or Origami King, he looks pretty much the exact same after all these years. So if that's the case, Paper Bowser has always been a great version of the character. He gets such a fun personality every time, and it always feels like he's got something new to do in each game. Let's grab the most high quality image of Paper Bowser there is so we can put him at the top in S tier. And now we have Bowser with a tennis racket. Just wanted to remind you all that every version of Tennis Bowser is a Bowser we've already ranked, so he won't be included. Bowser from Mario Kart Super Circuit looks absolutely insane, A tier. And we've officially made it to our next big game, Super Mario Sunshine, which officially marks the point where our Bowsers are going to get less and less changes. Pretty soon our normal Bowser will look exactly the same in every game, but we're not quite there just yet. Bowser really just sits in his massive Koopa hot tub for the entirety of this game and lets Bowser Jr. have the spotlight. I've always felt his final fight was really easy and boring too. He's simply not the star of the show, so we'll give him a D. We should also rank Mega Bowser, who's appeared in a couple games after this point too. Now that's an interesting boss fight, even if it is a little frustrating. In terms of his design, I feel like they could have pushed it a little further, but it's alright. Let's throw him in B tier. I'd argue the Sunshine Bowser appeared in a few more games after this. Mario Party 4, 5, 6, and 7, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour and Advanced Tour, Mario Power Tennis, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Kart Arcade GP, Mario Superstar Baseball, and most importantly, Dance Dance Evolution. Who knew Bowser could break it down like that? He getting down low! Thankfully, we can skip all of those. However, we've just gotten to a big new milestone, our first Mario & Luigi RPG. Bowser's a staple in all these games and made quite a few appearances in Superstar Saga. He acts as the very first boss, so sadly kinda just a tutorial more than anything. He's pretty round here, I'm not sure what to think about that. Let's throw him in C. But we're not done here! Bowser returns as Popple's sidekick Rookie. Bowser suffers from amnesia, getting to be a completely new character for the story of the game. I love the idea so much, and the blue mask he wears is really fun too. I love Rookie, let's give him an A tier. And then, Bowser got boobies. I truly have no idea who made this design and thought they needed to give Bowser breasts for the very first time, but they certainly sparked something in a lot of kids' minds on that very day. Anyways, this is Bowletta, a combination of Bowser and the main antagonist Cackletta. She possesses Bowser for one final battle before her true boss fight. It's probably one of the strangest Bowsers we've ever seen, but you gotta admit there's some charm to their design. Let's throw them in A2. We are still not done with Superstar Saga though. First, there's this early sprite of Bowletta found in the files of the game, which probably shouldn't be on this list, but I don't care. That's an S tier if I've ever seen one. Then we have Dark Bowletta, who looks a lot less interesting for sure. C tier. And while we're here, we might as well rank these characters from the 3DS remake of the game. This version of Bowser is seen in all the remakes and 3DS Mario and Luigi games. I honestly really love it, even if I am impartial to the version of him from the other games we'll get to later. But I think he should still go in S, he looks really cool. Then we have Rookie, who definitely feels less interesting now. Still good, but B tier. Boo Bowser is looking crazier than ever, A tier. And Dark Boob is insane. I love it, S tier. While we're here, I kinda wanna get all the Smash Bros. Bowsers out of the way too. He debuted in Melee, with some really weird proportions, honestly. I really love heavy characters in Smash, and I always have fun playing as Bowser. His moves are kinda boring in Melee though. I really like when he can grab a character and jump off the edge in the later games. Let's put that one in C. Then in Brawl, we got the most detailed Bowser yet. They made him look too real, and he starts to scare me a bit. Let's throw him in B and move to Smash for Wii U and 3DS. I love this Bowser, and seeing him animated in the reveal trailers was so awesome. He's amazing. Since the 3DS one is just a low quality Wii U model, I say we just rank the good looking one with an S tier. And finally we have Smash Ultimate, who still looks good but I kinda like a little less, especially this pose they gave him. Very strange. We can move on by leaving him an A. Wait, what's this? How could I have forgotten the Smash original character, Giga Bowser! When Giga Bowser first appeared as Bowser's final Smash, you actually got to play as him, which is so cool. Just a giant monstrous Bowser that would terrify any sane child. Sadly, in Smash Ultimate, he just punches at you from the background, despite how powerful that move is. He was also a boss in the story mode though, so that's cool at least. He also became a little less scary in Ultimate, but I really like the design regardless. Still, no matter what form Giga Bowser's in, he is so cool! A little weird maybe, but I'm into it. S tier for the lot of you. I was really hoping we'd have a Pinball Bowser to go alongside Pinball Mario and Peach, but instead he just looks like this. Boring. D tier. We've gotten to the generic Bowser model for all the 3D DS games, starting with Mario 64 DS itself. I'd love to represent it with this T-posing version, just to clown on him as much as possible. Despite being pretty blocky still, this is Bowser. They've definitely nailed the look down. He'll look the same in New Super Mario Bros. DS and Mario Party DS, so we can skip him there. Pretty boring anyways, B tier. I'd put him lower if the T-pose didn't make me laugh. God dang it, I almost forgot I have to rank Blockhead Bowser too. In Mario Party DS, Bowser's final boss is a pile of blocks that is basically an early version of the constructs from Tears of the Kingdom. I played a crazy amount of Mario Party DS as a kid, so I remember him very well, but who the hell decided this should be its own damn character? It's a pile of 7 blocks with Bowser's face on it! F tier! Thankfully we have games like Mario Party Advance that still give us a few fun sprites for Bowser, like this one. He can have a cute little C tier. In Super Princess Peach, Bowser is the final boss, but his sprite is the exact same as the Superstar Saga one. However, he goes big mode and, well, Wall-Eyed Bowser looks absolutely amazing here. It looks like he's doing like a table tapping ASMR video. I love ASMR artist Bowser, let's give him an A tier. Bowser definitely looks different in Mario Kart DS. Look at this dude! He's beefier and blockier than ever. A little too off for my liking though, C tier. Whoever made the decision for the Mario soccer game to be the edgiest and most badass series in Mario history made the right damn call. We're not supposed to be ranking the art of these characters, but I think we can make a dang exception for Mario Strikers. The art is the new character, in my mind. Bowser wasn't playable in the first game, but he still gets to burn the field down and beat the crap out of Waluigi. I love it, S tier. Then he got his Wolverine claws in the next game, making the most raw Bowser we'll probably ever see. Obviously S tier. And the claws stay on in bed through Mario Strikers Battle League, but he's definitely less exciting in this render than the others. Let's drop it down to A tier. Bowser is slowly inching his way to my favorite Bowser in all of Bowser history, but he's stopping just short at the next RPG, Partners in Time. Let's actually start with the Baby Bowser, who has basically just become a Bowser Jr. clone at this point in the series. They already look similar, but now they're given a plain bib just to complete the look. I like Baby Bowser a lot more when he's not a Bowser Jr. ripoff, but he's still cute here. C tier. Then we have Bowser himself, who teams up with Baby Bowser for the boss fight. Like I said, he is so dang close to looking how I want him to. A tier. And lastly, we have Shrowser, who should have and could have been so freaking cool, but instead it's just Bowser with a purple filter turned on. To see Bowser combined with the Princess Shroom design would have been so cool, and probably would have been our second Booby Bowser too. It's one of the most boring final forms for Bowser, probably because they wanted the Princess Shroom to steal the show. D tier. I know I said we could skip the first New Super Mario Bros, but the game introduced one of my favorite alternate Bowsers and, honestly, one of my favorite Mario characters too. Dry Bowser. Trust me, I am the opposite of dry right freaking now. I can't believe out of all the games he could have appeared in first, it was somehow the most generic series in Mario history. Dry Bowser is anything but generic, and we'll slowly see his design get perfected over time. He's still a bit blocky for my taste, but very good. B tier. Let's take a break here and go through some Bowser merchandise. I could easily double the length of this list by tracking down every official piece of merch Bowser has ever had, or we can highlight some big ones and call it there. I like the second option much more. Let's start this as it should be started with the Bowser Halloween costume. I can't imagine putting any character's Halloween costume lower than S, honestly. The next obvious choice is to cover the Amiibo he's gotten. First was his Smash Bros. Render, then a general Super Mario themed one, and his wedding outfit from Odyssey. I actually had the Smash one, and of course it's the standout of my collection. Clearly the Smash one is superior, S tier, then we'll put Wedding Bowser in A, and regular Bowser is pretty bland, so C tier. He weirdly got to be in Skylanders too, alongside Donkey Kong. Rather than ranking both his in-game model and figure, who look exactly the goddamn same, I suggest we rank the physical figure. Well, both of them. Apparently he needed an edgy version too. I prefer the normal one, so A for him and C for the other. He's got the chance to be a Lego too, and who wouldn't want to be a Lego, am I right? Both him and Dry Bowser got to be these little guys, tiny little builds with flat faces that honestly aren't great renditions of their respective characters. However, I would love nothing more than to own this massive buildable Bowser they made too. It is so well done, I am truly in awe of how perfect he looks. I would give my left kidney for a Dry Bones version too. Let's put both of the small ones in D and the king in S tier. A character has yet to exist until they've gotten cheap hunks of plastic sold in McDonald's Happy Meals. This first one is supposed to be breathing fire, but he looks like he just got his tongue stuck to a pole and it hasn't been the same since. There's also a Mario movie Bowser that looks much nicer. F for the first, C for the second. Speaking of Mario Bowser, here's the much more accurate fire-breathing Bowser, who more realistically should have been called Bowser Hits the Vape figure. He spits out a puff of smoke and his mouth grows red from his horribly inflamed lungs. In all seriousness, I still don't like this figure, D tier. Who can forget about the plushies? We got Bowser and Dry Bowser. Truly they nailed Dry Bowser, and I don't really know why the other one looks so bad. You messed up, Build-A-Bear. S for the good, D for the crap. The Bowser chess piece is doing the Mr. Beast pose, A tier. Bowser action figure looks fine, C tier. Bowser connects, wow, B tier. Bowser's Hot Wheels, A tier. Nachos Bowser, S tier. Good luck topping official Bowser nachos, dude. Not possible. I guess that means we should get back to ranking Bowsers that aren't from our world then. Well, we've made it to Mario Party 8, which seems like a fairly random game to focus on, but it's truly the start of Bowser and his Wii era. And honestly, the most generic and straightforward Bowser will ever be. This was the start of the dark ages for fun character designs in the Mario series, and most of the mainstays basically stagnated from this point onwards. All those crappy renders of Bowser we've seen time and time again are really what this form of Bowser is all about. Simple, straightforward, easy. It's boring! But yeah, if I don't mention a game you know Bowser's from, it's probably because I'm grouping him in with this era Bowser. You're telling me I don't get to rank Bowser from Wreck-It Ralph? Not fair, man. The fact that I don't get to gush about Super Mario Bros. Sluggers and how powerful a character he is there is genuinely making me tear up right now. Alright, don't tell anyone, but I'm sneaking Super Sluggers Bowser in S tier, and you can't stop me! Anyways, for the rest, I'm gonna grab a handful of renders for the version and just slap them in C tier. I do think Mario Galaxy's Bowser is a little more unique. His hair flows in the wind, he has an insane fire breath, and he's learned from Sonic how to master the homing ground pound. He grows massive in both games, I'm pretty sure, and while we're here, I just want to say anytime Bowser gets big, I don't plan to rank them separately. There's not really renders of their full bodies in those forms, so it's not really going to work, and they take up way too much space on the tier list anyways. If there's a form that makes sense for me to rank, I will, but keep that in mind if you think I'm forgetting one. Trust me, I'd love to get the Mario Wii final boss a top tier ranking. Anyways, speaking of ranking, let's get Galaxy Bowser on here. He's cool, I think A is fitting. There's also the return of Mecha Bowser, but what the hell? That looks nothing like Bowser! Possibly the worst one yet, F tier. It was my dream as a kid to unlock Dry Bowser in Mario Kart Wii, and to this day I haven't freaking done it. The game's too hard, it's literally a skill issue. But I've always held the highest praise for the guy because I still don't own him. And I'm pretty sure the regular Bowser is new here too, and he's definitely iconic. Both are going in S tier. We are absolutely over 100 Bowsers in at this point, but this is by far the most important one we ranked. Not only is this the first time Bowser is in the name of the game, not only is he basically the main protagonist, not only is this one of the greatest games of all time, but it features my favorite Bowser in Mario history. This is Bowser from Mario & Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. I am 100% biased and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I played this game over and over as a kid. I was obsessed with its characters and locations and especially the playable Bowser. Truly, he has never gotten a spotlight like he does here. Mario and Luigi are trapped inside his body for the majority of the game, so you travel the world primarily as Bowser himself. You get to mess with his body too, like when he gets really fat that one time, or when you make him grow bigger than his freaking castle. He has so much personality, and seeing him get angry at Midbus and Fawful is endlessly entertaining. The first time I fought him as Mario and Luigi and he used the attacks I taught him against me was the most insane and nerve-wracking moment of my childhood. I could go on and on about this Bowser, but we've got a lot more to get through. His design is perfect to me, and he has never looked better before or after this game. Of course, my favorite Bowser is going in S tier. We got a fan favorite alternate Bowser as the final boss of the game too. When the Dark Star takes Bowser's form, he becomes Dark Bowser, a spiky-haired blue-skinned clone. Who knows, maybe this is modern-day Bowser's twin brother. Blue Bowser is just cool. His boss music is incredible, and beating this boss after a million tries as a kid was the greatest feeling in the world. We've got a lot of S's now, but I just have to give him one too. We also get to rank Dark Bowser in the 3DS graphic style. Again, it's cool, but not as good. I'm absolutely biased, but that's my decision. A tier. Wow, another purple Bowser clone. Shadow Bowser this time, huh? Real original! F tier! We got yet another dry Bowser in Mario 3D Land, who looks a little worse than the others to me. B tier. And who could forget Tail Bowser? The render of a regular Bowser with a Tanuki tail photoshopped onto the back. Incredible! I had a lot of people who were inspired by Tail Bowser in high school, if you catch my drift. F tier. Dry Bowser looks great in New Super Mario Bros. 2, and he gets to grow giant and stomp on me? Talk about a dream come true! S tier. Everyone hates Paper Mario Sticker Star, but I honestly don't really care. What I do hate is how stupid Bowser looks. Not only wearing his evil paper crown, but in his shiny mode? You call that a final form? If you fail a final Bowser form, you fail as a Mario game. That's what I think. F tier! I'm starting to lose it, people. Things are gonna get crazy! Big Boy Bowser from Mario U is lame. I hate you, Big Boy Bowser from Mario U. D tier. Dream Team is a boring game. There, I said it. As a Mario and Luigi game lover, I fell asleep as much as Luigi did trying to play this game. And what's with the final boss? Phantasma looks great, and I love getting new bosses in the Mario series. But no, they made Dreamy Bowser the final boss, otherwise known as Bowser on Psychedelics. You suck, Dreamy Bowser. The only Bowser I find dreamy is Bowsette, and she's not even real! And don't you dare mention that stupid concept art from Odyssey. That's not Bowsette! That's nothing! Bowsette is a big titty goth GF, and don't forget it! S tier. Oh, I meant Bowsette was S tier. Dreamy Bowser is F, obviously. Alright, seeing sexy Bowsette helped me calm down. Like I said, there's way too many Bowsers, I'm kinda losing it. Thankfully, we've really reached the final stretch here. I'd say the catalyst of it all starts with Super Mario 3D World. As the big new Mario game on the Wii U, it introduced us to what really is modern Bowser. Every Bowser after this basically looks the same, apart from different art styles and unique forms. I really like the look they settled on for Bowser. He's not completely endearing, but not completely intimidating either. It feels like a happy middle ground that's fitting for the character. So at this point, we'll get to skip past most of the games he's featured in going forward. All the sports spin-offs, all the Mario parties, even Mario Kart featured this same Bowser model, or one extremely close to it. If you think we're almost done, you're not completely off, but there's still a lot to cover. Anyways, 3D World Bowser. I like when he looks like a genie coming out of a lamp, that's fun. He's good, it turned out great, like I said. A tier. But of course, the true new Bowser of the game is the one and only Meowser. Such a funny idea. He's not scary in the slightest, but I love his boss fight, and cat girls across the globe are cheering at the sight of him. Gotta be S tier. I've been kinda skipping around with the Baby Bowser appearances, but let's just get them all out of the way. From this point on, he only appeared in Yoshi games, which certainly makes sense. Pretty generic on the DS, C tier. A little more fun in Yoshi's New Island, B tier. Yoshi's Crafted World is straight up Bowser Jr. with not even the slightest attempt at making him unique. That's an F tier. But the holy grail of all Baby Bowsers comes from Yoshi's Woolly World. Look at this guy! For the first time in forever, they've made him unique. And it certainly helps that the art style for this game is incredible. I adore this Baby Bowser and his crazy strands of hair. That's an S tier. Let's just do the same thing for a Dry Bowser. We've almost seen them all now. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam featured a new one, and it's perfect! S tier. The DS Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games probably has the worst Dry Bowser, period. D tier. In Mario Kart 8 and Mario Tennis, we got the most recent version of the character, which is definitely great, but has just lost a bit of charm. A tier. The same can be said for Gold Dry Bowser from Mario Kart Tour. It's cool, but too over the top. B tier. Minecraft made Dry Bowser a warden, and he looks insanely amusing, but realistically should go in C. And of course, our one and only Dr. Dry Bowser from Dr. Mario World. Taking the most terrifying Mario enemy and putting a doctor's coat and stethoscope on him is just too amazing. S tier. Well, we've gotten through all the normie Bowsers, which means from here on out we only have new forms to discuss. For some reason in Mario Maker's Super Mario World art style, we just got a completely new depiction of Bowser. He was stuck in the clown car before, but he still looks nothing like he used to. He does look insanely terrifying though, and I really love it. One of my favorite sprites of Bowser ever, S tier. You can also become Bowser with the Mystery Mushroom power-up. It's a much simpler pixel art style, but still pretty great, B tier. We get a little Bowser mini from the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series, and it turned out great. It boggles my mind that they were never made into physical toys. What is wrong with you, Nintendo? I want to own this mini Bowser now! B tier. Molten Bowser from Skylanders looks pretty nuts too. Way better than the Amiibos he got. A tier. Mario & Luigi Paper Jam attempted to combine the worlds of both Mario RPG series and effectively killed my favorite one in the process. I don't have very high opinions of this game, but that won't stop me from covering the insane final boss, Shiny RoboBowser. It is very strange that they ditched Bowser's design for the Mario & Luigi series and just made him the generic Bowser model from every other game. You gotta admit though, that army he has looks pretty dang cool. Still, it can't fix his mess of a game, and the shell is really the only good part about it. I think it's a C tier. Honestly, I'm impressed with how good the Minecraft Bowser skin turned out. I fully assumed it would be laughably bad, but it genuinely looks good. For the lols, I'll give it an S tier. Paper Mario Color Splash was all about the effects of colors, and the most evil color of all is apparently black. I didn't say it, Nintendo did it, not me! It's really the precursor to Fury Bowser, just much less interesting. This is the final boss? Lame. D tier. And since we're talking about Paper Mario, let's get Folded Bowser out of the way. It's definitely a funny bit, since the game's all about origami, it makes sense to make Bowser useless by just folding him into a little square. But it's literally just Bowser folded into a little goddamn square! F tier. Through the Mario plus Rabbids series, I truly wanted to see what a Rabbid Bowser would look like. I can't imagine it would be good, but they never even freaking tried. All they had to do is give Edge a little turtle shell and I would have believed it. Instead, Bowser combined with the Mega Dragon to become MegaDragonBowser, and the final boss of the game. It's genuinely a difficult boss. I feel pretty accomplished to have actually beaten it. His design goes pretty hard here too, with glitchy red wings and glowing fiery eyes. It's good, just more weird than anything. B tier. Talking about Sparks of Hope, I know Bowser is playable there, but it's just Bowser with a gun. However, there's a Darkness clone of Bowser we should probably include. Tiny Fury Bowser with the same skills as Bowser in the game. Wonderful. I'm saying C tier. Mario Tennis Aces featured a team up between the main final boss and, you guessed it, Bowser. Man, what a new and inspired idea. If it had boobies, I'd care. Learn from your ancestors, stupid shiny tennis playing Bowser. D tier. Mario Odyssey has easily become one of my favorite games of all time. I love everything about it, including the subplot of Bowser wanting to marry Peach. It seemed original at the time, now it sort of feels overdone. But you gotta admit, the chance to get Bowser looking so dapper can't be ignored. Wedding Bowser did not hold back, he went all out and he is owning it. I truly don't know how Peach can say no to this dude. I do feel that his boss fights are a little bland, never taking much of a challenge and never doing something more than I would have expected. Can't really compare when there's a literal dragon in the game. Still, it's a great Bowser, let's put him in A. And of course, we have Possessed Bowser, when Mario finally does what he's been wanting to do since 1985, and he goes inside Bowser. Peach is gonna be so jealous. It's just Bowser wearing a Mario hat and mustache, but think about it. It's Bowser wearing a Mario hat and a mustache! A tier for you too. I am so unbelievably sad that I can no longer play Dr. Mario World. For those of you who don't know, this channel used to focus on gameplay videos of Disney and Nintendo mobile games. I made a walkthrough for every level in Dr. Mario World, and there's a lot. The game doesn't exist anymore, and I genuinely would love the opportunity to play through it all one more time. And if I could, I would be reunited with Dr. Bowser. He was the first doctor I owned, and he was a pretty good early one. He cleared rows at random with his fire breath, which would come in handy plenty of times. And also, more importantly, it is Bowser wearing a doctor outfit. It may not compare to Dr. Dolphin or Dr. Goomba Stack, but it is still very much an S tier. Speaking of mobile games I used to play, we have Mario Kart Tour, the one game I can get my own footage of for this video. Wahoo! The game has an insane amount of characters and skins, and while Bowser didn't get a lot, we did get Santa Bowser. He's appeared in promotional art I'm sure, but now he's real. We got more Bowsers in there like Dr. Bowser and Meowser, but no need to rank them twice. Santa Bowser's kinda dumb anyways, D tier. Our last two games feature some of the most exciting Bowsers of the whole damn list, Fury Bowser and Castle Bowser. When we saw Fury Bowser for the first time, my jaw dropped. Seeing him stand in front of Mario and Bowser Jr. is one of the coolest images that have ever existed. Fury Bowser is part of the reason I had the idea for this video in the first place. Using Super Saiyan Cat Mario to fight against the darkest and craziest looking Godslayer Bowser is a true highlight of not only this video, but my entire damn life! Fury Bowser is the definition of S tier. And then we have Super Mario Bros. Wonder. An incredible 2D Mario game that was a blast all the way through, but in retrospect we've all come to an agreement that the boss fights were the most lacking. In a game filled with these Wonderflower sections where anything and anything could happen, I fully expected a wacky and expansive final boss against Bowser. Multiple forms, returning wonder powers, it was really building up in my head. And then it wasn't worth a minigame. I was very much disappointed in this fight. Not to say it was downright horrible, but missed out on such great potential. Castle Bowser is sort of weird if I'm being honest with myself, and compared to this awesome list of Bowsers, it's definitely a C tier. Well, I have scrolled through the entire list of Mario games that Bowser appears in. Let's go through the last few entries for the final Bowser showdown. We have Bowser killing Luigi with a gun from a Satellaview broadcast. That's the only context I have, and the only one you're gonna get. Bowser with a gun is definitely S tier worthy. Hipster Bowser could and should take your girl and absolutely get away with it. I love that he's been given the name Hipster Bowser too. No way Nintendo is calling him that. I really hope Hipster Bowser is still out there somewhere, jumping into 3DS plates and looking suave while doing it. S tier, of course. And our penultimate Bowser is the one from the brand new movie. I was so dang sad to hear that Despicable Me had gained control of the Mario series. And honestly, I'm still worried. Seeing that dog scene at the beginning of the movie does not give me hope that any future movies will be good. We might have just got lucky. But still, I like the first movie for the most part. And Jack Black as Bowser obviously steals the show.
Do you yield?
Fuck you!
He sings Peaches and all those sexy Peach runners show up on screen, he practices kissing on Kamek, and he looks pretty perfect. There are moments where the illumination art style peeks through the Bowser design, but Jack Black manages to seal the deal for me. Well, actually, I kinda just like Jack Black if I'm being honest with myself. Alright, A for Bowser and S for Jack Black Bowser. Now let's finish this thing. Who is worthy of ending a list like this? Which Bowser puts the cap on our list of Bowsers? Well, don't worry, I think I have my choice. My greatest fear has come true. Bowser came to the real world, dude. How did this guy become the president of Nintendo America? Did they not see his last name? Every morning I wake up and check the news, fully expecting to see the real world's equivalent to Princess Peach, Taylor Swift has been abducted. Or a giant evil castle has been placed on top of the White House or something. Doug Bowser is up to no good, people. Truly the most evil Bowser of them all. As tradition though, every Bowser that's just some dude has got to go in F tier. I had a general idea of how many P-shirts I ended up ranking, but I generally have no idea if there's 100 or 300 Bowsers on our list as I'm writing this. I'm sure I'll have a much clearer idea after downloading all the files and collecting all the video clips and... Oh man, this video is gonna suck to finish. Thankfully, if you're hearing this, I actually pulled it off. As I'm sure you can tell by just how many S and A tiers there are, I freaking love Bowser. He's just too good too often, man. It is genuinely unbelievable how many forms he's taken over the years, and how many art styles he's been officially forced into. I certainly have a sweet spot for his alternate forms like Dry Bowser and Fury Bowser, but there's still so many amazing designs for our main man himself. I've definitely grown a bit bored of his typical 3D look, and will always prefer the sprites of him simply for how much personality we got from them. Most 3D Bowsers look pretty similar, but you really have a range of ideas and concepts when he's translated into 2D. Looking all the way back to that very first 8-bit Bowser is insane after seeing every other Bowser afterwards. But no matter if Bowser is a doctor, or a baby, or a baseball player, or a woman, or a monster, or a cutie pie, or a Nazi, or a... well, actually, no, except the Nazi one. But no matter any other form Bowser ends up taking, he proves time and time again why he's one of the most iconic villains of all time. I love you, Bowser, even after creating this nightmare of a video. There is a 100% chance I missed some Bowsers here. There's just so many I have to have missed some. If you know of any, leave them in the comments, and if there's enough, I'll make a YouTube short about it like I did for the pea shooters. Let me know who your favorite Bowser is too. I'm pretty curious. Sorry if I put it low on the list too. We're going back to Plants vs. Zombies next time for every sunflower ever, but let me know which characters you want to see get the same treatment. These videos are not easy to make. I think I lose a little bit of my soul after each one. If you want to see the series continue, then please like this video, leave a comment, and of course, become a member like all these wonderful people. If you want a Bowser Sona, then please consider becoming a member of the channel today. Thank you Leland, Patrick Byerjean, Brightstreak, MD Switchy, Dolphin Rider H2O, Dojo Master, Lavatane, Jasper TV, Keep, Omegon, Galguy, Jep the Legend, Cheaper Ying, Gotham, Marie, Callum Ford, Dawn Star Plays, Peacock, OK, Syra Was Taken, Pika Girl For You, I'm Just So Tired, Rafael, Crystal Creations, Cameron, Eric GD, and Perskule Benenner. Seriously though, they're gonna make Bowsette real, right? Mario Movie 2. Bowser finds the Super Crown and seduces Mario, and now Peach has to save him. Is it just me, or would Illumination legally have to pay me to use that?